Okay, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, just gotta take a little bit of a moment out of our time today to get some information across to all of you. We were talking last night. I did 2 videos, 10 minutes each, total of 20 minutes of my time being wasted, with the exception of the information we expressed about Ebola and what's going on with Ebola. However, talking about the player haters, I played a song in the past by Dana Dane, and the song is called Ain't No Love. And the words are, ain't no love for the player haters, ain't no love for the player haters, ain't no love. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I ain't got time for nobody hating on me. I have no time. I was gonna say something, but I'm not who I used to be, so I don't put my hands on people, and I don't challenge people to battles anymore and fights and all of this other stuff. I don't have time for the stupidity because it's distracting. And so I decided to just take the videos down that I put up. Now, normally, see, in my past, I would say, well, then I ain't gonna do no more videos. I ain't got time for these stupid I would do all of that stuff, but ain't no love for the player haters. I'm not gonna show them no love. Shoot. I could sit up here, that's right, shoot. I could sit up here and tell them where they could go. I could tell them how to get there, when to get there, and why to get there. I could make all kind of jokes, but it would take me outside of the scope of the person who I am. So, if you have a problem with me, you'll have to take it up with Jehovah, because he likes me. What can I say? And as long as he likes me, then I ain't got no problem with me. Now, if I were to do something to violate his law, then I couldn't say that. But because, and I've explained this to certain people, the fact that I use his name while making these videos, you must understand that that's for him. Now, when I say that's for him, I'm saying it this way so you understand, because many people, you're not getting it. When I use his name, I understand that if I take his name and bring reproach on his name, other people, that means using his name in vain. That's correct. If I bring reproach on the God whom I serve, and I bring reproach on his name, you know what happens to me? I have no success. That's right, you ain't gonna have no success. You bring reproach on his name. I know that, so just shut up. So let me explain this to you so you understand how ain't nobody stepping on my shoes, ain't nobody stepping on my toes. I ain't afraid of no stupid system run by a bunch of scary men and women sitting up there trying to intimidate somebody. Because why? Because they can't beat my God. Now, I don't want nobody to think that this is some religious little thing or something based on faith, because this ain't got nothing to do with faith. Faith is belief in something, though it's not a reality yet, it will be a reality in the future. This ain't got nothing to do with faith. This is what's right here in front of us now. Let me show you what I mean, okay? Now, while we listen to it being imagination, we're going to let that play in the background. Oh, TurboTax, I'm updating it right now, so that's what's happening in my background right now. And then we're going to take care of little TV shows that I'm downloading. We got to get rid of this. We don't need that right now, but we do need to go to a web page because we needs to talk, y'all. So let's go to the one that's playing this jazz of Just My Imagination, okay? We're going to let that play in the background, but while we're letting that play, we're going to open up this window because we got to show y'all something. Now, we done told y'all about this proclamation, but watch this. Presidential. Got to make sure I put that little space bar. Oh, I just did presidential. I was going to do it again. Proclamation. Proclamation. Vente. No, yeah, it is Vente. 2039. Okay, Vente 39. Well, that is not a Vente. That's a 2. I got to have my 0 right there, okay? So, Presidential Proclamation 2039. Let's go there, y'all. Let's take a look. Hey, don't be sitting up here playing no games. I ain't doing all the work. Get on your stupid computers while you're listening to the video. Turn to Presidential Proclamation 2039. We want the text. So what we're going to put after 2039, watch this. TEXT. We want the text. We don't just want some little photo. We want the text. So let's go here. We're going to go here first, okay? Franklin Della Ravino. Yeah, I know I must have misspelled somewhere, but I ain't got time for all that. Now this is Franklin. Uh-oh, we're sorry. You can't locate the page. I've been to this thing before, and it told me it couldn't locate the page. I don't know why I keep coming here. I don't know why they want to have Presidential Proclamation 2039 up here online, because it should be up online, but it ain't up online. So let's go Wikisource, free online library. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not concerned about the sidelines for which they claim this act was put together. That's not our concern. I want you to pay attention. We got to make it larger this way, because if we do it the other way, you won't be able to see it. So let's see if we can get it to recognize. Okay, I'm going to see if it'll fit on the screen, because by doing it this way. Alright, that's what we want, okay? Now let's do that right there so we can do it and without that other sideline stuff. Okay, whereas there has been a heavy, unwarranted withdrawal, I know it says and, don't worry about it, of gold and currency from our banking institutions for the purpose of hoarding. No, wasn't for the purpose of hoarding, but that's what he said, okay? Guess what? Whereas the continuous and increasing extensive speculation, those so-called speculators, activities abroad in foreign exchange, and as a result of the severe drain on the nation's stock of gold, and whereas those conditions have created a national emergency, that's right, national emergency, President gets to claim those national emergencies. By the way, I'm going to say it again because people didn't pay attention to me, and I'm going to just let you know who I am, because some of you mother don't get it. Go back to December 28th and watch the video where I sat up there and said all President Trump had to do was say that the border wall protects the nation, and he has a right to do everything within his power to protect and defend the nations. And no, he doesn't reallocate the funds under his authority as president. He reallocates the funds in the military under his authority as commander-in-chief. Now, he hasn't said that part yet, okay? He hasn't told everybody he's doing it under his authority as commander-in-chief. No, he's declaring a national emergency as the president of the United States. So in order to divert the funds in the military, he says he's doing it as commander-in-chief of the United States military, which he has the authority to do. Why? Because there is no law prohibiting him from doing so. But Congress just said no. They said they don't appreciate a statute of emergency, and they voted against it. It's okay. They can vote against it all they want. He declared a national emergency. He doesn't need Congress or the Supreme Court's approval. Why? Because it's an executive decision. It's separation of powers. I'm the guy who brought this stuff up in the 28th of December 2018. And I told you, watch, that this is what they're going to talk about next. I am not a psychic. I am just letting you know that some of the people who advise that man, some of the people who help run this stupid country, they listen to these stupid videos. Not just mine, but others. Okay, somebody said something to somebody that said something to somebody. How in the world do you think the New York Knicks situation with Mr. Oakley, Charles Oakley, got resolved? Huh? Where did they hear about it first? Was I not the one who pointed out the issue to everybody on video? I know some of you are going to say, you think too much of yourself. If I think too much of myself, why did they do exactly what I said they were going to do? when they weren't talking about it before, but after I mentioned it to you, they're talking about it. Now watch him use his position as commander-in-chief to move forward with the building of the wall, because he is the head of the United States military. And even though Congress has allocated those funds, he can divert those funds under such an emergency. Why? Because he's getting the authority from the commander-in-chief. But they're the same person. No, they are not. They're two different capacities of the same office. Two different capacities. One's a civilian position, one's a military position. Sorry. And I'm not trying to, I don't care about the man. I told you I can't stand him. I'm just letting you know that's how things are going to work out. Why? Because the people who are helping him are attorneys, and this is how attorneys think. Well, you don't have to be telling them that. I don't have to tell them that, but one way or another it's going to end up that way, people. I can't stop what's happening and what's becoming. Hey, you know ain't no woman like the one I got? That's what's playing in the background. See, I told you I love this music. Alright, so let's get back to this. People, I keep telling you about how I am not the average bear. I don't think like the average person. Maybe it was no, I give the credit to Jehovah, but maybe it was the being in the hospital bed with a temperature of 126 degrees. Maybe it was being clinically dead for 18 minutes. Maybe it was being in a coma. Maybe it was the massive heart attack and the massive stroke. Maybe it was the so-called brain damage that was supposed to leave me as a vegetable for the rest of my life. Whatever it is, very few people can stand next to me when it comes to intelligence. Sorry. Don't care if you don't like it. I don't care, because there ain't no love for the player haters. It's alright to be jealous of somebody who's got confidence. It's alright to be jealous of somebody who has belief in themselves. It is alright to walk away when somebody is saying something that you know is true, but you cannot handle it because that person's got so much confidence. This ain't being arrogant. Arrogant would be me being cocky and me being conceited. I am not conceited. The truth is the truth. Nobody I know thinks like me. I've been looking and searching for all this time. I told you guys about that, Does Everybody Have a Twin? If you haven't seen the poem, Does Everybody Have a Twin? Go to poetry.com and just type it in their search bar and just read Does Everybody Have a Twin? I found it and I downloaded it the other day, but I'm not about to read it now. I said I was going to read it in the last video. I didn't do it. I ain't going to do it now. Okay? But I've been looking hard, far, and wide to find my twin. Now, I have found him. He's my twin. I'm not his twin. He's mine. But he lived 2,000 years ago. I mean, he's still alive, but you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and read this presidential proclamation. We're not going to read the whole thing. There are just certain parts of the presidential proclamation. Make sure you guys understand what we're reading. By the President of the United States of America, a proclamation. It's called Presidential Proclamation 2039. Presidential Proclamation 2039, see, 2039. Written on March 6, 1933. This was before the March 9, 1933 Act. This is where the President says, I'm exercising authority. What authority? As Commander-in-Chief. Let's prove it. Hold on. It says, whereas the conditions have created a national emergency, and whereas in the best interest of all banking depositors, that a period of respite be provided with a view to preventing further hoarding of coin, bullion, and or currency, or speculation in foreign exchange, or permitting the application of appropriate measures to protect the interests of our people. That's right, they're doing it in the interest of the public. They're protecting the interests of the people. Whereas it is provided in Section 5B of the Act of October 6, 1917. Hold on. Pay attention. He says he's operating under the the Trading with the Enemies Act. That's October 6, 1917 Act. Okay, that's what that is. Trading with the enemy. Okay, you don't want to be trading with no enemy. That's trading. You're doing interstate commerce. Can't trade with the enemy. As amended. When was it amended? You'll see. That the president may investigate, regulate, and prohibit under such rules and regulations as he may prescribe. He gets to do it all. He's in control. By means of license or otherwise, any transaction in foreign exchange or export, hoarding or melting or earmarking of gold and silver coin, bullion, and currency. And, whereas provided in Section 16 of the said Act, the Trading with the Enemies Act, that whoever shall willfully violate any provisions of this Act or of any license, rule, or regulation issued thereunder, that's why you guys are sitting up there signing all them contracts with them government agencies, and whoever shall willfully violate, neglect, or refuse to comply with any order of the president issued in compliance with the provision of this act, that's what he's saying, he's making a law, pay attention, shall upon conviction be fined not more than $10,000, and if a natural person, okay, natural person, this lets you know he's talking about businesses and physical person, natural people, imprisoned not more than 10 years or both, for just violating this act. Ladies and gentlemen, why would the president do that? Well, let's find out why. Uh-oh, sorry, that was the wrong, not supposed to be doing that, so let's see if it's gonna let me go up without taking me up. Alright, let's see what he did. Now therefore, I, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, President of the United States of America, in view of such national emergency and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Trading with the Enemies Act, and in order to prevent the export, hoarding, and or earmarking of gold and silver coin and or bullion and or currency, do hereby proclaim and order and direct and declare. He did a whole lot of stuff, didn't he? He said he proclaimed, he ordered, he directed, and declared. Sorry, gotta go up. Hold on. It's the touchscreen thing. You know what? Hold on. Let's do that now. Because I reduced it in size, now I can do this. Alright, now we can go back to the size we're supposed to be. Okay? That from Monday, the 6th of March to Thursday. Now hold on. Hold on. You think that this thing only lasted for 3 days. That ain't, To Thursday, the 9th of March, 1933, both dates inclusive, meaning all of the 9th. Okay? Pay attention. There shall be maintained and observed by all banking institutions and all branches thereof located in the United States of America, to include the territories and the insular possessions. Ladies and gentlemen, this included the territories, okay? Just so y'all understand. A bank holiday, and that during such period or said period, all banking transactions shall be suspended. So it's supposed to go from the 6th to the 9th. 3 days, right? Only 3 days. And the 9th was all inclusive. Okay, hold on. Make sure y'all understand. Whew. Because Trading with the Enemy Act, that's something else. Some of you are going to pay attention and you're going to get this. Some of you are going to be too intelligent to pay attention and you're not going to get it. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 9th, I want you to pay attention. On the 9th of March, the Emergency Banking Act of 1933, signed by President Delano Roosevelt on March 9, 1933, the legislation was aimed at restoring public confidence in the nation's financial system after a week-long bank holiday. Not after, because the week-long holiday, it was only from the 6th to the 9th. Hold on. Make sure of something so y'all understand. Gotta scroll down a little bit more. It said from the 6th day of March to Thursday. That's Monday to Thursday, so it was not a week-long holiday. Pay attention now. Follow me if you hear me. But from Monday to Thursday, but it included all of the 9th. Okay, guess what? Here's the only problem. It never ended because Congress did the March 9, 1933 Act, with the March 9, 1933 Act, ladies and gentlemen, the emergency banking relief, that's bankruptcy protection. That's what bankruptcy does for a person. You say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, y'all. Alright, we're going to have to go here, because if we go to the other stuff, it's not going to give us that. We need you guys to understand what went on then, because many of you guys are not going to get it. And the only reason why I'm saying you're not going to get it, not because In Vogue said it, I'm saying you're not going to get it because you can't see it. Why? Why can't you see it? Well, the reason why you can't see it is because of all the camouflage, all the junk they put out there, making you guys believe that something was something when it was not. So let's expand this so that you understand the Trading with the Enemies Act. Pay attention so that you get it, because again, this is March 9th, 1933. Now remember, the said act that the president, the proclamation, it was supposed to be March 9th, the entire day was included. But before this proclamation period could end, what happened? Be it enacted by the United States House of Representatives of the United States in America of Congress assembled, that the Congress hereby declares that a serious emergency exists and that it is imperative and necessary to speedily to put through an effect remedy of the uniform national application. So it applied to the whole nation. What did they do? Well, they declared what the president had said to be necessary. See, it made no sense to associate the Trading with the Enemies Act to this national emergency. However, it was the Trading with the Enemies Act that allowed the president to declare a national emergency. That's why he mentioned foreign exchange and foreign speculation, so that he could make it international. So by making it international, he could bring in the Trading with the Enemies Act, and Congress did not have to create a new act. And what they did is they amended that which was already there. Okay, the actions, regulations, rules, license, orders, and proclamations heretofore, which was the March 9, 1933 Act, and hereafter taken, promulgated, made, and or issued by the President of the United States and Secretary of the Treasury since March 4th, that was March 6th, pursuant to the authority conferred in Subdivision B of Section 5 of the Act of October 6, 1917, as amended, is hereby approved and confirmed. Ladies and gentlemen, they are continuing this national emergency since 1933. They just told you. I'm not a genius. Well, yes, I am. No, because it's been there the whole time and I never paid attention to it. I didn't get it until last night. But guess what happened this morning? When I wake up this morning, this comes crystal clear. Everything I'm explaining to you, I'm not even sure what it's going to say next. I just know that it's going to agree with me. That's all I can tell you. But guess what? Somebody sent me, Willie, an email, Cody. And because Willie sent me an email, Cody, it talked about the national emergency. Now, how did he know? How did he know that that's what I was focusing on? That's what I was dreaming about last night. Yes, I had a dream about it last night. I had a dream that one day the little white boys and the little white girls would join hands together and sing Kumbaya, 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 and Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not getting what's going on here, this man has just proved to you that there is a government obligation here. What is the government obligation? Well, let's show you the government obligation. Because again, you're not going to get it. Congress enacted the president's proclamation and made it binding on the entire nation after March 9, 1933. Some people will say, well, it doesn't say that. Yes, it does. Remember, he made it all inclusive. Pay attention. Both dates inclusive. Pay attention, people. both dates inclusive. From March 6th to March 9th. That's not 2 dates, people. What are you talking about? March 6th and he says March 9th. Those are 2 separate dates. No, he says from March 6th to March 9th. Those are not 2 days. Pay attention to me now, because you're not paying attention to what they're saying. He says both dates inclusive. Well, what's the other date? There is no other date. He makes it all inclusive by the language. Pay attention, y'all. I want y'all to understand what happens during the holiday. Remember, Congress has continued the holiday. What do you mean Congress continued the holiday? Well, pay attention to what Congress said. It says the actions and proclamations heretofore. Well, that proclamation was done on March 6, 1933. We just showed y'all that. March 6, 1933. It says, and are made or issued by the President of the United States or the Secretary of the Treasury since March 4th, 1933, pursuant to the authority for which he said he operated, is hereby approved and confirmed. It now became law. Well, guess what? The period of national emergency has not ended. And weren't we in a state of declared war as of March 9th, 1933? Did we not enter into World War II? Pay attention now. Don't talk to me. Go talk to history. Because that's what they've been telling you all this time. We've been in a national emergency, people. Pay attention. Look at what it says. It says right here, the United States or any place subject to the jurisdiction thereof, and the President may require any person engaged in any transaction referred to in this subdivision to furnish under oath complete information relative thereto, including the production of any books of account, contracts, letters, and or other papers in connection therewith in the custody and control of such person either before or after such a transaction is completed. That's why they can ask you for your records, people. Whoever violates any of the provisions of this thing can be 10 years what they can get, y'all. That's presidential proclamation. This ain't the end of it. I need the other page. What y'all doing to me? I want the other page. Oh, that's that. Oh, I see what it is. Hold on, let me show y'all. It's that right there. They're supposed to take us to the other page. I don't think it's going to take us to the other page. I'm sorry, y'all. It ain't going to take us to the other page. I apologize because let's see if it's going to take us to the other page. Nope, that ain't doing nothing. That ain't doing nothing. That ain't doing nothing either. I think that takes us to the next page. Hold on. Let's see if we can read their next page. Come on now. Until you use me up. Now pay attention. It says to enable it to obtain adequate credit accommodations through rediscounting at the Federal Reserve Bank or any other method prescribed by this act other than that provided by Section 10 of the Trading with the Enemies Act. Any Federal Reserve Bank under rules or regulations prescribed by the Federal Reserve Board may make advances to such membered banks on its time. Now wait, hold on. Pay attention. Advances to such membered banks on its time. How did they make such advancements to such membered banks on its time? I heard it through the grapevine, y'all. I don't know why I heard it. How do they do that? May make advances to such member banks on its time, or demand notes secured to the satisfaction of such Federal Reserve Bank. How do you have a secured note? No, you're not talking about a secured note, are you? Demand notes secured to the satisfaction of the Federal Reserve Bank. Secured notes, people. Each such note shall bear the interest rate at a rate not less than 1% per annum per year, higher than the highest discount rate in effect at such Federal Reserve Bank on the date of such note. This is where you get your secured notes and your unsecured notes, people. That's why you hear people talking about it. I'm not making this stuff up. It's all right here. No advance shall be made under this section after March 3rd, 1934, or after the expiration of such additional period not exceeding 1 year as the President may prescribe. They keep changing it every single year, and not the President, because the Act also gives the Treasury Secretary the authority. Oh wait, you didn't see that? Hold on. We're gonna come back to this in a second. Hold on. We gotta take y'all to the part to where you see that the Treasury. I done did it wrong, y'all. I apologize, because it's because I keep hearing things through grapevines. And you know how difficult it is to hear through a grapevine. I mean, those things are so thin and tiny. Grape and vines, you know. Alright. Where'd I go? Oh, I went too big. Come on now. Shorten it down now. Alright, we can go right here. Right here. I want y'all to pay attention, because some of y'all ain't paying attention. Right here, pay attention. Issued by the President of the United States or the Secretary of the Treasury since March 4th, 1933. It is the Treasury Secretary and the President who has the authority. I didn't say this. Sorry, let me correct that. Not the Treasury Secretary, the Secretary of the Treasury. Two different persons, two different capacities. Sorry, I gotta, whew. And not the United States President, no, the President of the United States. Pay attention. Congress don't put nothing in here that they don't know what they're doing. Well, they often act like they don't know what they're doing. Don't worry about them acting like they don't know what they're doing. You're supposed to know that Congress know what they're doing. They ain't gonna play no more games with y'all. So let's go here so we can read the rest so that y'all can understand what the amendment to the Trading of the Enemy Act was all about. Now, it says, subject to such limitations and restrictions and regulations as the Federal Reserve Board may prescribe, any Federal Reserve Bank may make advances to any individual, partnership, or corporation on the promissory notes of such individual, partnership, or corporation, secured by direct obligations of the United States. Woo, doggy, we about to get to it. Y'all need to pay his attention, because all I knew is about obligations of the United States, and that's what I woke up focused on this morning. I had no idea that this was going to talk about direct obligations of the United States. And the individual who sent me the email, the first email he sent me this morning was on direct obligations of the United States. Ain't that something? Coincidence? I don't think so. Such advances shall be made for periods not exceeding 90 days and shall bear interest rates fixed from time to time by the Federal Reserve Bank, subject to review and determination by the Federal Reserve Board. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. The Federal Reserve Bank may make advances to any individual, that includes you, on the promissory notes of such individual. That includes you. Pay attention to me now, because some of y'all ain't paying attention. That means you get to write promissory notes because the law permits it. March 9, 1933. So don't let nobody tell you that your promissory notes ain't no good. Ain't no good. Oh no, ain't no love for the player haters. Ain't no love for the player haters. Ladies and gentlemen, you just got it from Congress. March 9, 1933. That the federal bank may make advances to any individual. Now we're going to talk about how you get to write your promissory notes to the Federal Reserve Bank, and you get to quote this section here. March 9, 1933 Act. But we're not finished with the Act. We're going to finish with the proclamation. Ooh, doggy, we going to get some learning here today. That's right. Let's get on right here to top number 5, section 501. There is hereby appropriated out of any money in the Treasury not otherwise appropriated the sum of $2 million, which shall be available for expenditures under the direction of the President and in his discretion for any purpose in connection with the carrying out of this act. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you see that right there? It says $2 million. Now, I want you to understand, is that $2 million just $2 million for the whole nation? No. Just want to make sure you understand that. If it was for the whole nation, $2 million would not have been enough. Alright, just wouldn't have been enough. The national expenditures back in that time was more than $2 million. Alright? We're in trillions of dollars now, so let me make sure you understand. The right to alter, amend, repeal this act is hereby expressly reserved. If any provision of this act or application thereof to any person or circumstances is held invalid, the remainder of the act and the application of such provisions to other persons or circumstances shall not be affected thereby. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the March 9, 1933 Trading with the Enemies Act. Okay? Are you understanding this? It is approved March 9, 1933 at 8:30 p.m. and President Roosevelt signs it the same day. So the president didn't need to remove his proclamation because Congress made it into law. That's all you got to understand. It's only 2 pages. So why are you guys sitting up there talking about title this, title that, blah, 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 blah. The March 9, 1933 Act, the President and Congress. This act has never been repealed, people. March 9, 1933 has never been repealed. Presidential Proclamation 2039 has never been revoked, pulled, canceled by the President. And only the President can remove a presidential order, a presidential proclamation, a national emergency. Congress cannot declare the President's national emergency a non-emergency, because the president has the power, the authority, and the responsibility for protecting the nation. That's what I was saying about Trump earlier. I hope you're paying attention. Now let's finish. Those of you who are thinking that this is blah, 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 I already know that stuff, you can go. It's the people who stay on that's going to learn the information they need to know. So go on now. We're going to wait on you. Get your anus on out of here. Go on now. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you see, I don't have time for those idiots who don't want to take the time to understand that I don't have much time, people. Eventually, I'm digressing, not progressing. So, eventually, I'm not going to be able to do what I'm doing now. I always knew I was on borrowed time, people. See, usually when people, I'm going to explain this for a minute and then we're going to move on. We're going to get to this right here. Usually when people suffer from apoxia, they end up having memory loss. And they have to work on getting to where they need to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't remember last week. I'm being honest with you, I'm not joking. I'm not making this up. I don't remember. I have to sit here and think about what I did last week. And I can't tell you what I did last Monday. Lord have mercy. Lord knows that's the truth, as my mama would say. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't remember. I do remember what I told people, because I remember last Sunday was the 10th, I believe. And Friday was the 8th. Yeah, an anniversary for me. That weekend was an anniversary weekend, and I forgot about the anniversary. I didn't remember until Sunday. No, until Monday. Monday is when I remembered. But what's happening is I am getting to the point to where I cannot handle all of the information. It's too much information. So I take the time and put it on video. That's why people are telling me about how they're following me. I don't want you to follow me. Okay? One quick seed. Help me. No, see, I don't want you to follow me. What I want you to do is take the information, learn from the information, do your own research. Like I said, now, you haven't pulled up these documents. I done told y'all to get your computer up, pull up these documents, look at what I'm talking about, read it for yourself, but you people haven't done that. Okay? Now, I want y'all to pay attention, because now we're going to talk about this. So that you guys know that I know what I'm talking about. During such holiday, the Secretary of the Treasury, with the approval of the President, would you get out of here? Thank you for blocking that. That's my ESET, y'all. ESET just blocking stuff. Anyway, During such holiday, the Secretary of the Treasury, with the approval of the President and under such regulations as the President may prescribe, is authorized and empowered to permit any and all such banking institutions. We done told y'all about this, focus on banking institutions, to perform any and all usual banking functions, deposits and, withdrawals and all of that stuff, to direct, require, or permit the issuance of clearinghouse certificate or, hold on, okay, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gents, we're going to talk about this banking institution thing in a moment, but we want you to focus on that it says to permit any and all such banking institutions to perform any and all usual banking functions, to direct and require or permit the issuance of clearinghouse certificates. Hey, you think you guys want to be issuing clearinghouse certificates? Pay attention now. Or other evidences of claims against assets of banking institutions. A claim against the assets? A clearinghouse certificate is a claim against the assets of banking institution? Look, the Secretary of the Treasury, is authorized he's authorized to direct for the creation in such banking institutions of special trust accounts for the receipts of new deposits, which shall be subject to withdrawal on demand without any restrictions. So look, hey, ladies and gentlemen, the banking institutions can, pay attention, create these new trust accounts for the receipts of new deposits, which shall be subject to withdrawal on demand without any restrictions or limitations, and shall be kept separately in cash or on deposit at the Federal Reserve or invested in obligations of the United States. So, let's break it down. As used in this order, the term banking institution shall include all, pay attention, persons engaged in the business of receiving deposits, making loans, and discounting business paper, transacting any other form of banking business. Do you guys conduct banking business? Are you persons who make deposits in banking institutions? Interesting. Do you transact business? Transacting any other form of banking business. Do you transact business? Well, then you're a banking institution according to this presidential proclamation. And as a banking institution, you have the right. Why? You have the right to create these special trust accounts, but you have to follow the provisions that are issued by the Treasury. Watch this. Alright, we're going to do this right here. Just to show y'all what y'all should be doing. I shouldn't be doing this for y'all. Y'all should be doing the thinking. It's already there. Establish a trust account for the special needs beneficiary. The complications involved in the special needs trust make it advisable to seek the assistance of an experienced attorney. A mistake could cost the beneficiary all of her government benefits and cash in her trust funds as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the Treasury created this thing called, pay attention, through the President of the United States, known as the Social Security Trust Fund. That is a special needs trust. You are the beneficiary. That's one special needs trust. Let's see if we can find another special needs trust. How special needs trusts work? Nano law. Nano. It's not nano, it's nano. Well, I like nano. No, I like nano. Nano. Anyway, how to set up a special needs trust savings account. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's what they've been doing all this time. They've been operating off of the presidential proclamation. They've been doing this the whole time. People are not paying attention. So, this is what we're going to tell you, because this is a separate subject from what we're about to bring to your attention. So if you've hung on for these 40 minutes, God bless you. I'm kidding. Okay, you need to be blessed by somebody, so he might as well be the one, huh? Oh God, it ain't gonna let us go to NOLO. NOLO. NOLO say no go. NOLO, see, NOLO say no go. Cause it don't like one VPN down here, and then another VPN way over here. So we got VPNs going on galore. So we ain't gonna be able to do NOLO, because they don't want us to look up special needs trust. Look how long it's taking. We're gonna put y'all on pause while we wait for them to do special needs, okay? Because y'all need some special stuff, okay? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. NOLO did not want to go, so no-go is a NOLO, or NOLO is a no-go, okay? What is a special needs trust? I want you to pay attention to what they're describing a special needs trust, and you tell me if they're correct. A special needs trust is set up for a person with special needs to supplement any benefit that person with special needs may receive from government programs. A properly drafted special needs trust will allow the beneficiary to receive government benefits, y'all, while still receiving funds from a trust. There are three main types of special needs trusts, but first it is important to understand how a typical trust works. Now, a trust is really a relationship between three parties: a donor who supplies the funds for the trust, United States government; a trustee, United States government, who agrees to hold and administer the funds according to the donor's wishes; and a beneficiary or beneficiaries, United States government gives it to the beneficiaries, who receives the benefits of the funds. So you always want benefits. Everybody keep talking about entitlements. You want benefits, y'all, because it's a trust. Okay, benefits. Benefits. All right, let's go on now. It says, often but not always, the donor wishes are spelled out in a document that gives the trustee instructions about how she should use the trust assets. Now, trust has been used for estate planning for a long time and are highly useful tools in ensuring that a donor properly is administered as he sees fit. You know, the administering of the trust, the donor is known as the trustor. All right. One of the reasons trusts are so popular is that they usually survive the death of the donor, providing a low-cost way to manage the donor's assets for others when the donor is gone. Ain't no more here gone. A special needs trust is a trust tailored for the person with the special needs. Ladies and gentlemen, you know who got the most special of all the needs of all the people out there? Well, let's do this. 3-1 CFMARA 363.6. Let's see who got the most special needs of all the special needs trusts out there. Let's see, special needs trust. Let's see if we can find this out. Give me 1 second. Sorry, had somebody trying to dig a hole. Alright, 363. We going all, and this is 0.6, y'all. We going all the way to the majority person. Okay, the person who ain't got there yet. So you mean minority. No, ain't no minorities here. The minorities been put to shame. Ain't no more minorities. Sorry about this. Come on now, minorities. It don't want to cooperate, y'all. It says a minority means an individual under the age of 18. The term, pay attention, y'all, it's a term, minor. It's also used to refer to an individual who has attained the age of 18 but has yet to take control of securities contained in his or her minor account. A minor account means an account which a custodian controls on behalf of a minor. The custodian controls it. Who's the custodian? United States government. And it is linked to the custodian's primary account, United States Treasury. Okay? So, United States, it's holding on behalf of the minor. Minor is the beneficiary. He's got special needs. Why he got special needs? Because he needs somebody to manage his stuff. That's why, because he don't have control. Somebody else is managing it for him or her. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's do this minor thing. because it says minor. So let's find out what a minor is, because it's a term. We want to deal with the term. Minor means an individual under the age of 18 years. Oh, it's the same thing. So why give us this when it's already there? That don't make no sense. So, ladies and gentlemen, this makes the minor account a government obligations. Why? Because the government is the custodian, and he holds it on behalf of the minor until he turns 18. Well, many minors have turned 18, and yet they have not gained control of the securities in their account because the custodian is refusing to relinquish security. So how do we get security? Everybody wants to go by this and say it's a Treasury Direct. Has nothing to do with Treasury Direct. How to get access to your Treasury Direct account has nothing to do with Treasury Direct, people. It has everything to do with the United States Treasury and Proclamation 2039 and March 9, 1933 Act. Until you focus on that, you will not get access. So, I am creating a document on behalf of SATCOM. That's right, I said it. I'm creating a document on behalf of SATCOM. It's going to be called the Q Pact. This will be designed to help these incompetent minors, they're special needs people, set up a trust in the form of an affidavit, which will be called the Q Pact, whereby it has an arbitration clause, whereby the individual utilizes arbitration to get access to the funds held in their account. Because the Supreme Court just said you could. This plan, this program, we were supposed to have started it on the 13th, but ladies and gentlemen, we could not have gotten it started on the 13th because I wasn't there yet. I wasn't there with this information. Like I said, obligations of the United States. That's how we go after it. Why? Because it's an obligation of the United States, we bring the United States through arbitration. See, the obligation of the United States creates the relationship with the United States. Now that we can prove that there's a relationship, we can do pay attention to what I'm saying here, a unilateral agreement. And the fact that we create a trust, what type of trust are you creating? We're creating one of these trusts. We're creating a blind trust. What's a blind trust? Well, it's one that can't see. It's blind. A blind trust is a trust in which the trust beneficiaries have no knowledge of the holdings in the trust and no right to intervene in their handling. In a blind trust, the trustee, fiduciary, and those who have been given the power of attorney have full discretion over the assets. That's the trust that's been set up for each one of you. That's that infant estate trust. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to create, I said we're going to create a blind trust. Technically, no, we're not creating a blind trust. We're unblindfolding the trust. We're creating a... Now, I would like to call it a, watch this, pure trust scams. Also known as constitutional trust or common law trust amongst its many other names, is neither a pure nor a legitimate trust. It is a scam that continues to be perpetrated for upwards of 50 years now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a law office, okay? You can do a pure trust. A pure trust is a trust. Watch this. The government does pure trust all the time. What is a pure trust? Legal dictionary. A trust situation that involves three parties. The parties are the creators of the trust, the trustee, and the beneficiary. This is a contractual trust and is different from a statutory trust and is a legal document. Okay, this idiot says that pure trusts don't exist. And look at that. They say Trust Unlimited LLC, the pure trust scam. Really? Pure trusts are scams? Well, let me tell you why our pure trust is not a scam. Your pure trust not a scam? That's right. Watch this. Hold on. I'm looking it up this way because, see, I don't want pure trust. I want express trust. But I decided to put pure trust to see if it would pull up. Watch this. You've been hearing me talk about express trust all the time. Okay? Watch this. So that you'll see this is what we're doing. Ain't no woman like the one I got. Makes me happy when I needs a lot. Alright. An express trust is a trust created in express terms and usually in writing as distinguished from one inferred by law from the conduct or dealings of the parties. Property is transferred by a person called a trustor, settlor, or grantor to a transferee called the trustee, who holds the property for the benefit of one or more of the persons called beneficiaries. Oh wait, ladies and gentlemen, when I turn 18, do I not have the right to my securities held in my account? Does the law not recognize that right? Well, why can't I take my property upon attaining the age of 18 in the form of that entity, that infant estate, and transfer it to the beneficiary? Not the infant, but the living person. Of course I can. The trustee, I can appoint the trustee, may distribute the property or the income from the property to the beneficiaries. Express trusts are frequently used in common law jurisdictions as method of wealth preservation and enhancement. Okay, this is all we're doing. We're going to take and create a trust agreement. We can create a trust agreement because Grandma and Grandpa created a trust agreement. Because the attorneys create trust agreements all the time. They want to talk about scams and shams. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why they can talk about scams and shams is, this is the last thing and then we're going to let y'all go. Let y'all know that I'm on the right track. Hold on. I know I'm spelling that wrong, but I ain't got time. Arbitration. We got to pull this up. I could pull it up on my computer faster. Yeah, I know it's unanimous, but I just ain't got the time. Okay? Let's make sure y'all understand. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what the Supreme Court hands down a victory to arbitration. Your trust agreements that you created did not have an arbitration clause. Put an arbitration clause in your trust agreement. Anybody who want to argue, put an arbitration clause in your trust agreement. Okay? Put an arbitration clause. See, on Tuesday, the Supreme Court sided with the minority position, finding that the exception to arbitration is inconsistent with the Federal Arbitration Act and the court's precedent. In vacating the Fifth Circuit Court's decision, the Supreme Court concluded the courts do not have the authority to override the decision by the parties to delegate to an arbitrator the question as to whether the dispute must be arbitrated or litigated. Instead, the courts must enforce arbitration contracts according to their terms. Specifically, the court noted that the parties to a contract may agree to have an arbitrator decide not only the merits of the particular dispute, but also the gateway question of arbitrability. Accordingly, when the parties' contracts delegates the arbitrability question to an arbitrator, a court, pay attention now, may not override the contract even if the court thinks, meaning it doesn't matter what the court thinks, that the arbitrability claim is wholly groundless. That's what the Supreme Court said. So add an arbitration clause to your trust agreements, the same as we're about to do to ours. Let's turn this thing over on its head. Look, hey, let me explain to y'all so y'all understand, so you get what I'm trying to say. If our arbitration agreements and our contracts are baseless, groundless, or a sham, a scam, pay attention, then so are theirs. Because now they'll have to define what an arbitration clause is or is not, what it must and must not include. Oh, they've already done that, haven't they? Oops. And ours include everything they say it must include. Like I said, this information had to come out, and it could only come out now. I thought, man, if I had known this in 2001, 2002, 2004, Supreme Court didn't make that decision in 2001, 2002, 2004. They made that decision now. Right after I do videos on the internet letting everybody know. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is all about timing. And I could not have timed it better. So they're going to be coming my way because they've already announced they're coming my way. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to have a party. Because I got my agreement. I got my award. So now it's time for me to force my award. So they're going to try to take away my freedom for a little bit of time. I'm alright with that, people, because I'm standing on my square. If my arbitration agreement is baseless, groundless, if my contract is inapplicable, then so is yours. That stupid contract that you put together called a trust agreement that you didn't let me know about, that you claim is a blind trust, that you claim is legal, yours is bull. Why? For the same reason you claim mine is. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Because I don't think you do. I don't think y'all are getting what I'm saying. What I'm saying, if mine doesn't work, yours doesn't work. If yours doesn't work, theirs doesn't work. If theirs doesn't work, nobody's arbitration works. Nobody's contracts work. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm doing. I am saying now is the time for you to get your arbitration agreements and your contracts done. And if you want to get on the bandwagon, contact SAA. Let them know that you are interested in becoming an arbitrator. Because there are not enough private arbitrators out there and private associations out there. You can't get anybody to come to you, but look at this. We have 100,000 views a month. One of them will come to you. You see, that's what people are trying to stop. You guys are a powerful, powerful, powerful group. That's why everybody wants to try to monetize. That's why everybody wants to try to have access to this channel. That's why everybody wants me to speak their name. I'm not giving nobody no fame. I'm not adding to nobody's clout. I don't care if you're getting 5,000 views of this video or 3,000 views of that video or 100,000 views of that video, or if you have 2 or 3 individuals coming to your channel. I don't care. I didn't care last week. I don't care this week. I simply don't care, because it ain't that type of party. You're not going to use me to ride on out into the sunset. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting this information out for free. I'm not putting it out for me. If I was doing it for me, then you would never hear about it. I'd keep it to myself. You know what my biggest problem is? The information I'm sharing with you, I can't share with others. What am I talking about? Because others can't see what I'm talking about. That's why half the people who watch these videos will never get it. What do I mean? I mean exactly what you hear me saying. Half the people listening to this video will never get it. Why? Because it's not meant for them. Those of you who are getting it, it's meant for you. It's meant for you to understand. It's meant for you to grasp. That's the point. So if you're understanding this, and I hope that you are, because this was meant for you to get. That's why it's done at the end. The presidential proclamation is what gives you the right. The treasury and its regulations is what gives you the right. Your being an infant is what gives you the right. All we're doing is taking that junk that they created, that infant stuff that they created, all we're doing is taking that junk and twisting it around and using it to our benefit. That's what we're doing. And you know why we're doing it? Because we got the right to do it. We ain't no joke. If they didn't do that stupid proclamation, and if they didn't have people like me to sit up here and point it out to you, that you are a banking institution, you are a person who conducts banking business, if they didn't have somebody like me to point it out to you, then you could sit around being clueless. But yes, now you know that you get to create your own clearinghouse certificates. You get to know what I'm going to tell you. Don't misunderstand me. That your infant estate is a government obligations. Why can't you write off of that estate and its property? There's no law against it. They say that because they're trustees, they get to do whatever they want. Not after you turn 18, they can't. Once you turn 18, you have a right to take control over the securities held in your account. They're blocking you. So should you not be creating an agreement stating that to be the fact? And saying, get out of my way, and if you don't get out of my way, we'll go to arbitration and let the arbitrator decide it? That I have a right to gain control of the securities held in my account? You do have a right to gain control of those securities, don't you? Ladies and gentlemen, do you think that they're going to keep letting me tell you all of this? I'm surprised the channel is still up. But they know that if they take the channel down, I'll just put it up on my own website. But Google has another way. Those of you who are subscribers, you get to know when the next video is coming out. Those of you who are just searching YouTube, you're not going to find these videos. Look how long it took some of you to find out who Oz was. That there was an EEON channel. Thousands of videos, and you're just now finding out about it. I don't advertise. It ain't got that type of party going on here. I ain't trying to advertise. But if you want to learn, if you want to do what you need to do, if you want to get out of the muck, then you need to pay attention. Then you need to pay attention. Then you need to start listening. Then you need to understand. You have so many things that you need to do. So you might as well do them now. You might as well get to that understanding. You might as well get on board. You might as well do what you got to do now. Now look, ladies and gentlemen, I got to go out and wash a car. Okay? Because the car needs washing. So I'm going to finish doing this video. And look, hey, too much things have been talked about in this video. So I would suggest those of you who are listening, because some of you done picked up on a couple of things. And the guy who sent me that stuff about government obligation, I didn't tell y'all all about what I was figuring out about the government obligations. We ain't talked about all of that. That ain't this conversation. But now that you realize it's a government obligations, now find out how you can sit up there and redeem a government obligations. We've been doing government obligations coupons, don't you remember? The new coupon is a government obligations coupon. Pay attention to me now. So since we've been doing that, should you not be paying attention? Lord has mercy. Okay? Sorry, I'm messing with an egg. It got stuck in the cotton. You know how it got cracked? And so it got stuck. And so it's in the cotton. And I got to unstuck it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, boss. But I was going to try. I swear I was going to try. I was going to unstick this little egg. But with that being said, hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for letting me get back on track with giving you information that will benefit you. It is my hope, truly my hope, that this has been of benefit. With that being said, have a Coke and a smile. We'll see y'all in a while.